I'm going to let you in on a little secret right now. And I want you really just to picture this. Okay, I'm knee deep in my business. I'm doing all the things. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, bam, every single thing changed. And you want to know why? Because I finally cracked the code to embracing the word no. Now, as a fellow entrepreneur, you know the struggles, the endless opportunities, the constant demands, the constant communication. And let me tell you that I used to be the ultimate yes woman. Like, seriously, who wouldn't want to be the superhero who just says yes to everything? But here's the thing. It nearly broke me. I was drowning in this sea of tasks, like literally suffocating under the weight of my own people-pleasing tendencies. And it got to the point where I literally couldn't remember what day it was. Sound familiar? Then one day, it hit me like a ton of bricks. What if saying no was actually the key to unlocking my business full potential? So if you're nodding along right now, feeling like you're stuck in that same people-pleasing cycle, stick around. I've got some wisdom to share with you. Hey there, it's your business bestie, Lisa Ann, back with another episode of the More Than Social podcast, really your go-to for all things business and self-growth. Now, let's get really honest for a sec. Are you like me, constantly battling the urge to say yes to every single request that comes your way, even when it's slowly draining the life out of you? I've been there, done that. I got the t-shirt. Now, see, I used to think that saying yes to every opportunity was the key to success. But in reality, it was just my one-way ticket to Burnout City. And I remember those days when I would take on every single project, even when I was already juggling a zillion deadlines. It was like this never-ending game of how much can Lisa handle before she actually breaks. Spoiler alert, I broke, and I broke big time. But you know what? Rock bottom, that was kind of my wake-up call. It was the moment that I realized that saying no, it wasn't a sign of weakness. It was actually a superpower. So I started just sprinkling a few well-placed no's, and let me tell you, it was so dang liberating. Like feeling that, kind of like feeling like that breath air after being underwater for too long. Now, take for example, there was a time that my client, she asked for a new webinar to be prepped, literally with no time. And instead of saying yes and working all weekend like I definitely used to do, I took a sec and I thought, hey, I actually matter too. And you know what? The world didn't end. My business didn't end. Turns out my clients, they're actually human too. Who knew? By setting boundaries and learning to say no when I needed to, what I did is I regained control over my time and over my energy. And you want to know the best part? My business started to thrive like never before. So if you're feeling stuck in that yes man trap, take it from me. It's time to break free from it. Saying no, it's not a curse. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise. And let me tell you, when I started changing how I did things and I stopped putting everyone else before myself, things change in such a great way. And when I was thinking about what I really wanted to discuss with you on this episode, all about actually saying no, I came up with 5 biggest benefits of saying no. And it came down to my priorities, my focus, my values, my time, and most importantly, my self-worth. So first, let's just talk about priorities, and then I want to dive into all 5 of these with you. But like I said, as a business owner, I would say yes to literally every single thing that came my way. But it was holding me back. And actually in life in general, like friends, family, doesn't matter. I would say yes to everything. But when I started to say no to things that didn't align with my goals, like taking on projects that didn't pay well or weren't necessarily my expertise, my business started to grow. It's kind of odd, right? But what I found happened that by focusing on what truly mattered to me and truly mattered to my business, I started attracting better opportunities and I saw real progress. Now, this one was really hard for me to figure out for some reason. Like saying yes to every opportunity, in my opinion, at the time, it seemed like the path of least resistance. But after all, who would want to turn down potential business and chances to expand and grow? But here's the catch. Not all opportunities are created equal. And by saying yes, we're actually spreading ourselves really thin. We're shifting our focus from what actually matters. So think about it. Every hour that you're spending on a project that doesn't align with your expertise or your values, it's an hour taken away from the projects that do matter to most of us, or the ones that could even make an even bigger impact with your clients or within your business. So what actually changed when I started saying no? And really, in the simplest way that I could describe it for you, I regained control over my time and over my resources. And I became more intentional with the project I took on, making sure that, again, they aligned with my business, my goals, my values. And by doing that, I realized that it allowed me to actually channel my energy into the areas where I could truly excel, which then had this snowball effect. I started attracting better opportunities and clients in that entire process. But saying no, it's not just about turning down projects. It's about really setting boundaries and prioritizing your self-care. And by saying no to commitments that are overstretching me or compromising my own well-being, I actually reclaimed my time. I reclaimed my sanity. And guess what? A healthier, more balanced me allowed me to actually make better decisions and be a better leader. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by this constant pressure to say yes to everything, I get it, but I want you to remember it's okay to be selective. By saying no to the wrong opportunities, you're actually creating space for the right ones to come into your world. Now let's talk about my focus for a sec. And actually, let me use my program, the Spotlight Theory, as this example, because I used to try to please every single person by accepting every single request from my program, what they want to change. But I was so overwhelmed trying to do it all that it actually slowed me down. So when I started saying no to unnecessary features and focus on perfecting what I already had, the program literally took off. And I was able to narrow in and focus even more in depth on the clients who are actually going through the program. So really, at the end of the day, they're actually going to get better results too, because I'm more focused on them. But again, it's easier said than done, especially when people are asking for something, and especially when it's something that you're physically delivering to them, like the Spotlight Theory. Man, it's like my business baby. I've always wanted it to be like absolutely perfect. Make sure that every single person loved it. But I feel that I was like on this ongoing hamster wheel. And you know how it goes as entrepreneurs. You're one too. We're always chasing this next big thing. We're trying to please everyone. We're trying to get better and better and better. But as soon as I understood how to actually say no, I took back my control. And like I said, instead of drowning in feature overload, I honed in on what really mattered to my clients, aka their results. That's what they're here for. I was able to set boundaries and just stay true to my vision too. And let me tell you, that is way better than simply trying to please everyone. That's not how I want to do things. And I'm sure it's not how you want to do things. Plus, I actually needed just a second to breathe for once. And trust me, it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to say no. I want you to focus on what truly matters and don't lose sight of your values. Seriously, this one was huge for me. And I used to have these partnerships and these collaborations without considering if they actually aligned with my brand values. And I'm actually embarrassed to say that. But when I started saying no to opportunities that didn't actually reflect who I am as a person or what I stand for, that also made an impact. I made sure that I started to stick to working with other brands that also share the same values. And because of that one simple switch, I started to attract a loyal client base who honestly, I love working with. It's so easy to get caught up in this world of just getting in front of whoever will listen to me. Instead, I highly recommend making sure that you are in front of the right people who are actually the right people for your business. That way, when you do attract these people and you start to connect with them, because you are going to connect with them, you can actually help them and you actually enjoy who you're working with and what you do. And after all, we all have so many hours in the day. And that's another really big one. Saying no, it actually gave me more time back in my day. And when I said yes to every single project that came my way, even if it meant overcommitting or sacrificing my own well-being, I would literally jam as much as I possibly could in my day. And when I started saying no to projects that didn't respect my time, even clients that didn't respect my time, I was able to focus on the quality of work versus the quantity. So please, if you listen to anything I say today, it's this. We, as in all of us listening here right now, myself included, we gotta respect our time as entrepreneurs because really, let's face it, nothing good comes from stretching ourselves too thin. Like, goodness, I remember I was having like 5 to 6 meetings a day, plus managing over 30 clients at once with a very small team. I'd wake up, I go to the gym, and I sit in this dang chair for 8 hours straight, taking meetings, answering emails, trying to finish a project in between all of that. I would then cook dinner, and then I would work again. But at this time at night, I didn't have meetings. I didn't have people distracting me or interrupting my thought process. all I did was just work and work and work. But it's because I was saying yes to every single thing. I had zero boundaries and I had no idea how much I could or actually how much I wanted to fit into my day. It was so dang exhausting, like mega, mega exhausting. And I remember when my calendar was getting so full that people would have to book 2 weeks in advance to talk to me, sometimes 3. And one of my clients, she really wasn't happy with that. And honestly, that hurt because honestly, like I was doing so much work for her outside of the meetings. So I'd rearrange my entire schedule. I'd fit her into my already jammed day. And she would talk to me for an entire hour, all about the exact same things that we've already discussed through our project management system. The exact same things. I felt like she was kind of wasting my time, but I also, obviously I want to please her. So I would do it every single week. I even tried to bring a team member in and make sure that she knew that she could also talk to this other project manager who is just as knowledgeable as me and could definitely answer any questions. She would never accept it. If I wasn't there, she's not taking the meeting. Like literally, it was wild. But again, it came back to me realizing that it's okay to say no. It's okay to set those boundaries. And a really big one with this client specifically that I had to learn was it's actually okay to say goodbye. Like for my own sanity, for my own self-worth. Now, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, hey, is this money, is this stress, is this workload, is it worth it? And in this case, it wasn't. So when I started saying no to even clients who didn't respect my expertise or even my time for that matter, I started to attract clients who valued what I had to offer. And it's actually funny. You probably heard this a million times, but when you have someone paying you $500 a month or $1,000 a month, they're going to take up more time than someone paying you $3,000 a month. I find it's those who appreciate your value and expertise, they just kind of let you do your thing. They don't micromanage you. They have other things that they want to focus on within their business, and that's why they're hiring that expert. So take it from me, learn from my mistakes, and goddamn, stand up for yourself and know your worth. And when you do, you're going to see your business thrive and you're actually going to see your income increase and you're going to be so much happier. Promise me? At the end of the day, I want you to remember that saying no, it's not about shutting doors. It's about just wisely choosing which ones are you actually going to open. And it means setting boundaries, saving time, saving energy, and staying true to your vision. And if any of this is resonating with you, if you're like, man, I'm in the exact same spot right now, Lisa, take a moment to consider your relationship with the word no. How can embracing it empower you to open new doors? And hopefully everything we just went over can quickly answer that question for you. Just remember, saying no, it's a strength. It's definitely not a weakness. Keep saying no to what doesn't serve you and literally watch your business soar. I'll see you next week. Stay fierce, stay fabulous, and say no just like you mean it.